Okay, then. Hello, everyone. Good evening, guys. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Rohan, Subhashini, Bilal, Brian, Utpal. Good evening, buddy. Good evening, guys. Good evening, Ramesh. Good evening, Stephen. How are you all, guys, everyone? Hello. Good evening, guys. Good evening, everyone. How are you all? Can you please tell me how are you all and how was your New Year? And yeah, first of all, guys, a happy New Year to all of you. I wish the best for you and for your family in this coming year. So, yep, good evening once again and happy New Year to all of you. Okay, and I welcome you all to day five. I think it is day five, right? Day five of this React masterclass. And so far, we have learned so many things, and there are so many things yet to learn, which we'll be covering in the next 4 to 5 days. Okay, good evening, Drex. Good evening, guys. Good evening. Okay. So, guys, also tell me how is this course going for you so far? Also, tell me that. How is this course going so far for you? Because so far, we have learned about states, we have learned about props, we have learned about components, how to create it, how to reuse it, right? We have also talked about what else? We have seen how to use state to, create UIs. We have also seen different hooks. We have also learned about use effect. And I think in the last session, we understood how to call APIs, right? So we also learned how to call APIs, and we also created a very simple application where we called the API, got some product data from it, and displayed it on our web page, which is a very essential thing because in future, as React is just a front-end development library, we'll be calling a lot of APIs to get a lot of data and display it. Okay, we also saw how to do conditional rendering. We also saw how to use map to loop through your data to generate UIs. So many things we have learned so far, right? We have learned so many things, but yet we are still left with a lot of amazing things that we'll be learning in the coming days. All good, sir. We are practicing and learning so many new things. That's great, Subhashini. That's great. Thank you so much, Brian. Thank you so much, buddy. It has been very interesting and I'm learning. Amazing, Stephen. That's great, buddy. That's great. I'm happy that you guys are getting some nice things from here, learning some good things from here, and hopefully be learning much more. I'll try my best for that as well. Okay. So, guys, let's go and let's start with today's topics. So, today, again, as always, we have three very important topics in mind. And again, guys, we are not only covering the fundamentals in this course. As you can see, every day we are learning the fundamental things, also how to use it properly. Okay, so it is not only fundamentals, we are trying to learn that everything that there is in React. But again, guys, once you finish this course, there will be still some more things. But I think that it will be very easier for you to learn it on your own. And again, if not, don't worry, I'll be coming up with some advanced concepts course as well in future. As this is, getting started with React. Actually, it's not only getting started, it's actually a lot of React that we are learning. So yeah, how's your New Year day? So yeah, it was good. It was good. Yeah, I was with my family and friends and enjoyed it. And yeah, it was all good. All good. So guys, again, let's go with the today's topic. So today we are mainly learning three very important things in React. One of them is updating state, which contains array and objects. So far we have used state variable, correct? And we have also seen how to update a state, right? We use the function that we provide while creating the state, right? And then we use that function to update the state. But we have only updated a state which is containing a string or a number, right? Now today we'll also see if our state variable is carrying an array, which in most of the cases it will always have an array, because when you call an API, the data that you get is an array mostly, right? And sometimes our state will also carry objects. So today we'll see how to work with the state variable who are going to be carrying array and object and how to properly update them. There are many ways that we can use, but what can be the best possible way? Okay. So after that, we'll learn how to do form handling. So we'll see how to create input fields in React, how to read their values, and how to finally collect the data that we can send to a proper backend API. Again, guys, there are many ways to perform form handling, and I'll be showing you one of the ways. And after that, the final thing for today, we'll be learning the use ref hook. Again, one of the very important hooks, and sometimes people get confused in this. So we'll be learning this as well, and we'll be making clear what exactly is use ref. What's next after React? I think after React, what I'm planning is there will be one course for app development using Flutter, and I'm also planning for Python full stack and Java full stack. So there will be two streams in a day. Okay, in the morning, people who want to learn Python full stack, they can follow. and maybe in the evening, people who want to learn Java full stack, they can follow. So I'm just planning like this. So you can pick any one course out of it and you can start learning. Again, if you can manage, you can learn both the courses at one time. Completely fine. But let's see, that's all a plan right now. But definitely after completing this, as we are almost near to complete JavaScript full stack, we'll be moving on to Java full stack and Python full stack. But again, in this course, I'm still planning to do a next course after React. So after completing React, I'm planning for a next JS course as well, so that the complete full stack is completed. And maybe after that, I'll be coming up with a DevOps course as well, where you can learn how to, what is Docker and all that stuff, and how to deploy your applications properly and all that stuff. So, you'll be also gaining some knowledge about the DevOps. So basically, you'll be becoming a complete full stack developer. Complete. It was place items, Dhanush. It was place items, buddy. Place items. Okay. So now then, guys, before we start with today's concept, let me show you the application that we created in the last session. Yeah, full stack project. Yeah, Ritik, don't worry. Projects will be there as well. Projects will be there as well. I'm just telling you the rough idea of what I'm planning for this new year. But again, there will be a lot of stuff I'm still planning, and maybe what I'll do is, in some days I'll be creating a video and I'll be telling you guys what exactly I'm planning for this whole 2024. I'm planning for 3-4 full stack courses and at least 3-4 full stack project courses separately, and maybe 1 or 2 DevOps courses as well. So that is what I'm planning for this whole year. So I'll be coming up with a video for that. So guys, you guys know what exactly I'm planning. So again, guys, this is the application we created last time, but we forgot one thing last time, that now, okay, fine. We have called the API, we have got the data, right? We have called the API, we have got the data, but after displaying this whole data, if you open your, console, there was an error that we didn't solve. There was an error, okay, that we didn't solve. Okay, don't worry about this error right now. This is just some port related issue. It's okay, you can leave that. But we have to worry about this error. Each child in a list should have a unique key prop. Okay, so whenever you perform mapping, remember guys, whenever you have an array of data and you use map to display that data, you will always get this error. Always, warning or error, whatever you call it, you will always get this. It is asking you that each child in a list should have a unique key prop. Now, I hope you remember that I think on day 2 or day 3, I taught you about virtual DOM, right? So every time you do any update in React, what happens, guys? A virtual DOM is created. Then the old virtual DOM and the new virtual DOM, they are compared. Then whatever changes are there, they are watched, and those changes are then pushed to the real DOM, which actually updates the browser, right? This is what we learned, everyone, right? So now, when you perform mapping, for example, here, where was that? Yeah. So when you perform mapping of an array and generate a list of elements using a loop, in that case, now this same div, this same structure is getting generated multiple times, right? You can see here in your output, if you see your output, the same box, 1, 2, 3, so around 15-20 times it is getting generated, right? That means that many DOM elements are getting created. So now what happens is, when the virtual DOM is created for these many elements, React gets confused. So what React is saying is, if you're generating a list of elements, now we know that map, now I also have shown you this in the last session, that when you use map to generate your UI elements, React generally generates a list of elements, right? That means right now we are generating list of divs. So in that case, React gets confused. React thinks of all the elements as same, because it's again, you're creating the same and same thing. So React thinks of all the elements as same. And now, if you ever want to update one of the element, React will get confused because all of them look exactly same. So what React is asking you is, for the virtual DOM updation process, please do one thing, just give a unique key to your parent element which you're generating inside the loop, so that every element that you generate will have something unique. And in future, when the virtual DOM is created, it will be easier for React to understand which element to update if you update any of the element. For example, right now, you have generated same elements around 20 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now let's say you're only updating the state of this component. But for React, everything looks same. So React will get confused which state to update. For that, just give a unique key. Like it's like a unique ID for every element because they're all same. So you have to give a unique ID or a unique key to every element so that React will understand, oh, right now you're updating the state of this component with this key. Right now you're updating the state of this component with this key. So for virtual DOM purposes, React is asking you to give a unique key to this list. So key. So remember guys, always to the parent element. That's all. So key, and here you can pass something unique, but now it should be unique for every element that is getting generated in loop. If I pass one directly, what will happen? Every element will get key as 1. Every element will get key as 1. That is what I don't want. So there are a few solutions for it. One of them is, we know, like if I have printed the product in console, if you see here, where's my console? Let me show you. See, where is the product? Yeah. If you see the product list, every element is having an ID. See that? An ID for every element is unique. So we can pass this ID as the key. So this is one of the simplest solution. So what you can do is now is you can go ahead in your editor and you can simply pass that key will be nothing but product.id. Simple idea. And now if you check out your output, it should be very, very easy. Now see, product was always like already displaying, so no issues in that. But let's go to the console, refresh your page and see that error is gone now. That console issue that each child should have a unique key, it's gone now. Simple idea, guys. So always try to use the ID of whatever element you have, because if your data is coming from a database, in most of the cases, it will have an ID and that will be unique for that particular product. So yeah, simply use that. Again, if sometimes you don't have ID, then what? Sometimes what if you don't have any ID? In that case, what you can do? Very simple. In that case, you know that when you perform map of an array, in that you get the element as the first parameter. You also get the index of that element as a second parameter. So instead of ID, you can also pass the index here. We know that index for every element will be unique, right? So remember, in map, when you're looping through an array, the first parameter is the element of that array, and the second parameter is the index of that element. So if your array has 10 elements, map will go through every element one by one. So for the first element, index will be 0. For the second element, index will be 1. For the third element, index will be 2. So unique, and it should still work. See, there is no issue, no error, nothing like that. No key issue at all. Is that clear, guys? But in this case, I won't be using index. I will be using product.id, as that is what I'm suggesting you as well. Use index only if you don't have access to ID or something like that. All cleared, guys, everyone? Understood? So this is what we forgot last time, and now it's all cleared. So only for virtual DOM purposes, because you're passing a list of elements and they all look exactly same, so React wants you to tell React that, okay, please give a unique key to all the elements so that it's easier for React to figure out which element got updated and which did not update for the comparison purposes. Okay, everyone. So now then, let's leave this project. Let's leave this project. This is done, and I've created a new fresh project for today's topics. Okay. So let's close this. We don't want to run it anymore. And now let me quickly open the new project. So it is this one, form handling and use ref. Okay, a very fresh new project. Okay, and first of all, I would like to do the basic stuff, as I've only created this project right now. So what is the first thing that we do, guys? npm install, so that all the libraries should get installed. Okay, it will just take maybe 30 seconds, something like that, 20 seconds. Almost done. And guys, till then, please tell me, I hope you're understanding everything. Nothing is going too fast, or I hope nothing is going too slow, and you're able to understand whatever I'm saying. Please tell me that, guys. Please confirm that once. Okay, all set. Am I missed anything, sir? No, Akhilesh, nobody, no. That was the first thing we were learning. So all good, all good. Don't worry. You have not missed anything. Okay, so let's quickly run it, guys. Again, I hope you remember how to change the port number if you want to, but in this case, I'm not doing it. But again, let me just, refresh it for you. Remember that? You can go to vite-config file, and here, after plugins, you can add a server property in which you can define port, a custom port that you want. So in this case, 3000. Okay, so now your application will run on port number 3000. That's all. Close it and let's run this application. So npm run dev, and here we go. It's running on port number 3000. And now let's go refresh, and here we go, a fresh application. Okay, let's remove all this stuff. We don't need it here anymore. So we'll go to app.jsx, our component file, and we will remove literally everything. Let's go. Okay, so all set, guys. We'll have a simple h1 just for the view purposes. So h1 hello app, something like that, or hello chat. Okay. Hi Nikita, how are you? Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year. I hope you're doing well and you're doing amazing. Happy New Year. Okay. And also, guys, we'll remove the imports. Again, basically basic setup. I should have done this before the session, but I just wanted to show you this one more time. But don't worry, from tomorrow I'll be creating a new project and I'll be doing all these basic setup by default. Okay. And also, what do we need to go? The CSS. The CSS. So let's remove everything from here as well. Remove it. And we can just have a simple margin 0 pixel, padding 0 pixel, and box sizing, border box. Basic reset. And also from app.css, remove everything. Okay. So all set, guys. And also remove this count variable. We don't need it anymore. And I think now our application is plain and simple. Here we go. Hello chat. All set. And I would just like to change the font family just for now. So font family, here we go. Basic font I've changed, and all set now. Let's go. So now, guys, what we are learning today first is how to update state when it contains an array or object in the proper way possible. Okay. Hi, positive. Happy New Year, buddy. So let's go. Let's see how to update a state when it contains an array or an object. Again, guys, you can also figure out your way of doing this, but I'm just trying to show you the best possible way. Okay. So I want to create a state variable first. Now we have already seen how to create a state variable and how do we update it and what it does. It basically re-renders the UI. We know that. Okay, so let's quickly put it to test. Let's create a simple state variable. Let's call it as name, and the function we would create to update the state variable, I'm calling it as set name equals uState, and here I'm passing, let's say, Saurabh. Okay. So guys, I have a very simple state variable and I also want to display it here. So h1, and guys, today I'm not creating any other component. I can completely work in app.jsx. That means our app component. Let's display it here. So name, and that should be it. Here we go. We can see Saurabh here. All set, all good. Now let's quickly create a button on which if I click, I want to change the state variable. Now guys, again, I hope no one is confused in all this stuff. We have already seen how these works, right? How these things work. So button, let's call it as change name, something like that. And guys, again, I'm not creating a separate function today. You can create a separate function and then call it. But I hope I'm just trying to give you a habit of, if you want to do very small things, don't go for separate functions. If you want to simply do very small things like changing a variable or something like that, don't go for a separate function and make your code look very big. Okay, you can do. So I'm just trying to give you a habit of doing small things directly. So directly a simple anonymous function here, and inside this I can do the exact same thing, or I can create a separate function and then call it one and the same thing. So set name, and I can pass the new name as let's say Thor. Now we know that I'm changing a state variable when I click on this button. That will cause the app component to re-render, and that's why my output will be changed, right? Here we go. You can see that it got changed to Thor, right? Initially it was Saurabh. When I click, it changed to Thor. All good. We changed the state variable. It caused a re-render and my UI got updated, and that's why we got Thor. Amazing. All set. So we already know how to update state variable when it contains a string or a number or a boolean. We have seen that a lot of times. Now what if, let's keep this here. What if sometimes, so let's say I have a list of animals. Okay. So let's say I'm creating a list of animals, which will be an array. Okay, so set animals, something like that. Okay, equals to, let's create a state variable which is containing an array. Why, guys? Because last time we also saw when we called an API, we got an array from there. So in most of the cases, we'll be always getting an array. So here we go, use state, and then something like, let's say lion. I'm creating a list of animals. You can, guys, you can also have a list of objects. Any list is fine. The concept will be same. Lion, cheetah, and let's say something like hyena. Okay, all set. So guys, I have a list of animals and let's quickly display all of them. So we know how to do it, right, everyone? We can do a simple map here. So again, we want to write some JavaScript. So curly braces, then animals dot map. Here I'm going to get single element. So I'm calling it as animal. And see, right now we have simple strings. So they don't have anything like IDs. So in this case, we can use index for the key because we know we'll get that error because we are generating a list of elements. Okay, whenever you do map, you should pass the key. So in this case, I'm simply gonna return a very simple h1. So you don't need this round brackets, but again, just to keep a habit, h1, and let's display the animal. So animal, and also I want to pass the key, so avoid the issue. So key will be index. Okay, all set. You can see all the animals are displayed here. Can you see that, guys? Everyone, all the animals are displayed here. Okay, perfect, all good. Now what I want to do is, I want to create a button. Okay, let's say I create a button. Okay, and that button is for add new animal. Guys, please focus. From now on, we are going to be doing a lot of things. Okay, so add new animal. Okay, and let's go on click. Okay, and let's create a function for it actually. Separate functions so that we can understand it properly. So function add animal. Okay, guys, all set. Now, what I want to do is I want one new element. So whenever I click on this button, so yeah, let's call that function here, add animal. So now what I want is whenever I click on this button, this one, add new animal. Okay, what I want is into this list, a new animal should be added. Now, if it was a normal array, let's say it was something like this. I hope, guys, everyone remembers JavaScript. I hope. So I'm considering that. So let's say it was an array like this. Okay. Now, guys, normally how do you add a new element in an array? What is the normal approach of JavaScript, guys? How do you add a new element in an array? What is the normal approach? Come on, tell me quickly. So if it was basic JavaScript, I know you would have simply done animal.push and added a new element. Like, let's say, for example, in this case, deer. Correct, everyone? So in your animal variable, you already have 3 animals or 3 elements in your array, and you wanted to add a new element. So you simply did push. Correct? That's the simplest way of adding an element in the array. But, what's the issue that we have? Right now, we don't have a normal variable. It is not a normal array. Right now, it is a state array. It is a variable which is stored in a, it is a data or an array which is stored in a state variable. And we know that we cannot perform a direct update of any state variable because that will make React confused and then your application may crash or memory leaks may happen. Because we already know that to update a state variable, you should always go for the function that you have provided. Is that clear? That means we cannot do this now because it's a state variable. So then what's the best possible way now? So now there are 2 ways. One is which I used to use when I was learning React, which is not the best way, guys, but it worked for me. For few projects, it worked when I was learning React. After that, I changed my method and now I'm also going to be showing you the best possible way. So I'm going to be showing you 2 ways. But again, guys, I'm not saying that those are the only 2 ways, but I'm showing you 2 ways. One, not good. The second one, the best way possible. Okay, so let's go. Let's go. First way is we know that we cannot directly update a state variable. So what I do is I create a copy of that state variable. Okay, I create a copy of the state variable. So let's say copy animals equals animals. So guys, what did I do here first? What did I do here first? I copied the animals, that whole array into this particular variable. Now this is a normal variable, so I can treat it like any normal variable. Yes, Ritik, we'll also move on to that. Don't worry, buddy. We'll also move on to that. Okay. So I copied it. Now I can work on this variable. I don't have to necessarily work on this. So now what I can do is I can go ahead and I can do copy animals dot push a new animal. So let's say in this case, deer. Okay. So guys, in this case, first what I did, I created a copy of the old one. Okay. So I created a copy of the state variable. So I copied animals into a simple variable and then I pushed element in that variable. Now let's say first of all, if this copy is hampering us, let's check that out. So let's call this function and let's see if something is happening just to test it. Let's see. So if I click on add new animal, see nothing is happening. Nothing will happen because only when you change the state variable, the component gets re-rendered. And right now the component is not re-rendering because you're not changing this variable. So guys, first step is done. We create a copy of the actual state variable, we store it in some other variable, and then we do the basic stuff in that. So now we know that in copy animals, initially there were 3 elements when I performed the copy, and then I pushed deer in that. So now copy animal will have 4 data, 4 elements. And then what I'll do is, I'll call the function set animals, and in that, I'll pass this copy animals. Simple idea. I'll pass this copy animals. So first I create a copy of the state variable. Then in that copy, I pass a new animal. And then whatever that copy is there in which I have updated the new animal, I pass it back to the state variable with the proper function, which will cause re-render. And now if you check it out, yes, we are calling the function. And now if you check it out, click, here we go. Oh, am I not calling it properly? On click, add animal, set animals equals copy animals. Let's see if there's some issue here. Now again, guys, I would never suggest you this way. I just wanted to show you one way, but let's see if I'm doing some mistake here. Nope. Am I making a mistake here? I created a copy here. Okay, we can do destructuring as well, but I don't think that copy is happening. Yes, that copy is not happening. Okay, let me just first try here. To create the copy properly, let me just first try here. If I can do this using spread operator, let me just test it once. Yeah, now it's working. Okay, so guys, when I was doing the basic copy, that was usually not working. Okay. So again, guys, when I was performing the copy, okay, directly, I was simply copying the state object in this particular variable. That is not a proper copy. That is not a proper copy. Okay, that's why to perform copy, we used spread operator. Okay, that's why to perform copy, we use spread operator. But again, guys, let me see if that copy was working. Don't worry, I'll show you the solution, but let me just check it once. Because initially I used to use this. I don't know why it's not working. Very initially I used to use this. So yeah, let's also check the console once if it is happening. So copy animals. Let me just print. Okay, so that state is working. See, you can see it is working, but our state is not updating. Why is that happening? Because we got a new array, but our state is not updating. Okay, so there's some issue basically. Exactly, so it's not working because we know that when we copy an object, only the address gets copied. So yeah, we will not copy in this way. But I don't know, initially it used to work. But again, let's make a proper copy, guys. So again, everyone, please focus. Here we go. Please focus. In this case, guys, remember, arrays are considered as objects in JavaScript. And whenever you copy an object, whenever you perform a copy of an object, what happens, only the address of that array is copied. So in this case, when I'm copying the animals variable, which is having an array, into a new variable, only the address of that variable is getting copied. but I want the elements to be copied. So for that, guys, use spread operator. Put animals in an array directly. I don't think directly it will work. So what you do, guys, is we use spread operator. So what spread operator? Okay, I hope everyone knows spread operator, guys. Does everyone here know spread operator? If you don't, please watch my complete JavaScript programming fundamental course. In that, I have discussed spread operator completely. Okay, let's try Ramesh's solution. Ramesh is saying put animals in an array. Okay, let me do that for you. No, see, it is not spreading like that the way we want it. So it's not spreading like that. Okay. So guys, the best possible solution is, first of all, let me teach you spread operator if you don't know. If you don't know. So guys, see everyone, please focus here. Let me just open a new window quickly. For everyone who doesn't know spread operator, I'm teaching you once again. Please focus here. Okay, so let's call it as index.html. Okay, I actually want to create a file, that's all. On desktop. Okay. Here, simple HTML. Because guys, today we have to learn spread operators. Okay, before we start with anything else. So guys, I'm creating a simple JS file just to teach you spread operators if you don't know. So copy the path. Let's go in the browser, paste it. And guys, please focus now. So spread operators in JavaScript are operators which are basically used to spread arrays or objects. When you talk about spreading, it simply means destructuring the array. Destructuring the array, or it simply means, breaking the array. So let me show you what I'm trying to say. See, let's say I have an array. Let ARR equals, I have an array 23, 45, 67, 89, 90. Okay, I'm giving you all the idea, guys. Please focus here. Okay. So again, that way that I was showing you, even if it doesn't work, it's not a problem. Don't worry. We are not going to be following that way anyway. Okay. So guys, we have an array here. Please focus. So console.log, if I'm printing this, an array will be printed, right? An array will be printed. So if you check it out, here we go. An array is printed. Nice. All good. Now, if you go ahead and perform dot, dot, dot in front of it. So if you put dot, dot, dot in front of an array, see what happens. Initially, it was getting printed as an array. Now, after you putting that dot, dot, dot in front of it, that dot, dot, dot is what you call a spread operator. It spreads the array, or it breaks the array and only gives you the values which are available. So now you only have these 5 numbers available. It's not an array. These 5 values are now spreaded openly. And now you can use it for anything. Now it's no longer an array. So when you spread an array, when you perform this, spread an array, when you use spread operator with an array, you get all the values directly as values. No address, nothing. Okay. And now what you can do is, you can, if you want, put an array bracket around it like this. So you got all the values, you got all the 5 values, okay? And so basically when you do dot, dot, dot ARR, you got all the 5 values. So you're now simply putting that values in this newly formed array. You can say that, okay? So let me show you what I'm trying to do here. See, so now if, guys, please focus. If I create one more variable, array2. Now remember, guys, arrays are considered as object in JavaScript. So if I create a copy, see, in this case, I'm copying this array into this variable. Okay. So now if I print ARR2, okay, and also let's say I print ARR1. I'm printing both of them. Sorry, ARR and ARR2. I'm printing both of them. Okay. You will see right now they are same because we have simply copied them, right? All good. All good. Both are same. Now, okay, and also let me do it in 2 lines. Okay, first of all, both are copies, so both are same, all set, all good, no issues. But now guys, please focus. Remember, as I told you, whenever you perform copy of an array, arrays are considered as object in JavaScript. That means you're performing a copy of an object. And whenever you copy an object into a variable, the data of that object is not copied. The object is not copied. Only the address of that object is copied. Okay, so in this case, when you're copying this array into this variable, you're not copying the array. You're simply copying the address of this array. That means both the variables actually have the same address. They have nothing but the same address. That's all. This ARR2 is not having the array. It's only having the address. That's why, see, if in future I go and only change the value of ARR. So let's say in ARR, I change from 45. So ARR of 1 should become 90. So what I did, in ARR, I changed this 45 to 90. Now see what happens to ARR2. See that. ARR2 also changed. Why? Because you didn't copy the array. You only copied the address of the array. That's all. You only copied the address of the array. So both the variables are actually pointing to the same array. So if you use one variable to change that array, the other variable also can see the exact same array, because both the variables actually have the exact same array. Is that clear, guys? Again, guys, I'm not going in depth about this, but you can watch my JavaScript course. There I have explained how this works, what is stack, what is heap, and how the whole thing works. But remember, whenever you copy objects in JavaScript, you're not actually copying the object, you're only copying the address of that object. That means both the variables are having the exact same address and both are pointing to the exact same object. And if this variable changes that object, the other variable gets the exact same thing. So now, what if you want to actually copy not the address, but the actual object or the actual value? In that case, you can perform spreading of that array like this. So now what I did, I said in ARR2, I am passing a new array. See, guys, I am passing a new array, a blank array. And in that array, the values will be, I'm spreading the old array that I have. So what I did, I spreaded the ARR. That means I'm only taking the values, not the exact array. I'm only taking the values of this, spreading it here and forming a new array out of it. Okay. So the concept is, in ARR2, I'm passing a new array, which is right now blank. Inside that blank array, the value will be the spreaded value of the old array. That's it. The spreaded value of the old array. And now if you see, guys, right now they're exactly same. But now the best part, if I change ARR1's value to 90, AR first array is index number 1, which is 45, value to 90, ARR2, nothing happens to that. It is still 45 because now they are two different arrays. Is that clear, guys? So now what you did, in ARR2, you simply took the value of ARR and created a new array. You didn't copy the same array. You didn't try to copy the same array. No, you only took the values of the previous array and created a new array and then copied it in the new variable. So this is a new array and this is a new array, even though they have the exact same values. That is why when I did changes in ARR1, there was no change in ARR2. Is that clear, guys? Everyone, please tell me. Again, guys, if you want to learn more about this, this is not a React concept. This is the JavaScript concept. I'm hoping that you would know this, but if you don't know, this is the idea. Because see, I'm forming an array, right, Sabine? See, I'm forming an array. I'm spreading the old array and I'm forming a new array. See, I'm passing these brackets. So it's like I'm doing this. When you're spreading the value, you're taking this, right? So I'm actually doing this because when you spread an array, you only get all these values, right? So you're passing in this new form array like this. That's why. Exactly, Manav. Exactly, buddy. Exactly. So I'm assuming that you guys know this, but again, if you don't know, please go ahead and watch my video. I've explained deep copy, shallow copy, and how it works and where it stores and why this happens, everything. So if you spread the array when copying, it will assumed as a new array. No, when you spread an array, you only get the values. So I'm forming a new array with these brackets. Remember, guys, I'm passing this blank. See, if I do this, I'm creating a new array, right? So what did I do? I created a blank array and passed 3 new values. So instead of directly passing values, I said, take the value from the old array. So I spreaded this array. So when you spread, you only get the values. And I'm forming a new array. So ARR2 is a new array, which is having the values, only the values of the old array because you're spreading it. Is that clear, guys? If you do stringify, it will make a lot of tasks for you. You can do that, but it will make a lot of tasks for you. Is that clear, guys? Yes, kind of, Brian, kind of, buddy. In JavaScript, arrays and objects, when you store them in variables, those variables don't hold the values. They only hold the point address. So they are pointers actually. Yes, they are pointers. So right now this is a pointer, which is, it looks like it is holding the array, but it's only holding the address of the array. That's what you can say. So actually when you store objects or arrays in variables, they are actually pointers in JavaScript, but we don't directly call them pointers here. So guys, are we cleared with this spreading logic, everyone? Okay, so I had an array. Now we know if you directly copy an array, you're not copying the array, you're only copying the address. So they are exactly same. They are pointing to the same array. Okay, so when you want to create a new array, get only the values from the old array by spreading it and form a new array. That's it. That's the best thing. Okay, and guys, it also happens with the objects. Okay, let me show you that as well. Let me show you that. Okay, and guys, see the best part. Also, I forgot the best part. The best part is you are spreading the old array, so you're getting these old values here. Now while copying, you can pass a comma and pass some new values as well. Why not? See, so spreading the old array, that means getting this 5 values plus these 3 new values. So now your ARR of 2 will have 3 new values as well. So if you check it out, see that? Very easy to add new elements, right? So in which memory array objects are stored? Heap. In JavaScript, they are stored in heap. Is that clear, guys? So you can spread an array, mix some more values with it, and form a new array. Right, everyone? I hope the idea is cleared here. Okay, and guys, same things happen with objects. Same thing. Like for example, if I create an object called a student1, let's say. Now here I'm passing name as, let's say, Utpal, and age, let's say 27. So now guys, again, the base logic. When you are storing an object in a variable, you're not storing an object. As I said, you're only storing the address. So that means this variable actually contains the address of this object. That means in future, if you go and do this, let student2 equals student1. Because this variable is not actually holding this object. It is only the reference to this object. This variable is only holding the address to this object. So you're only copying the address of student1 to student2. So student1 and student2 are exactly same. They both only have the address of the same object. Same logic. There is only one object. That means if I print both of them, console.log student1, console.log student2. So if I print, you'll see they are exactly same. But to confirm they are exactly same, let me show you this. If I go ahead and change student1's name, so student1 dot name equals, let's say, Sabine. See what happens to student2. I'm only changing the name of student1, but see what happens to student2 now. See that? See, student2 also got changed to Sabine. Again the same thing, right? Again the same thing, because student1, student2 both, they don't have the direct object. They only have the address. So if student1 does something to the object, student2 also sees it because it is also pointing to the exact same object. That is why you can also perform spreading of the object. So again, guys, when you do ... in front of an object, you again get these properties openly available. And then you can form a new object here like this. See, you can form a new object like this. So now what you're doing here is you're getting these two values directly and forming a new object. That's it. So now you'll see student1 is having this object. Student2 is creating a new object, but using the values or the properties of this object by spreading it. So I'm only taking these things. I'm not taking the whole object. I'm only taking these properties out of it and putting it here. You can think of it like that. That's what's happening. Is that clear, guys? And now if you change the student1 name to Sabine, student2 won't get affected. See that? It's Sabine, but student2 still is Utpal. So now there are two different objects. Is that clear, guys? And the best part is because you're spreading and getting the values, you can also add some new properties like city, Mumbai. So student1 is having two properties. Student2 is having the properties of student1 and also a city. So now you will see Student 1 is having name and age. Student 2 is having name, age, and city. Is that clear, guys? Understood what spread operator is? Spread operator in JavaScript is nothing but a way of extracting only the values, or bursting, or what do you say, breaking the array or the object and only getting their values and the properties. And then you can use those properties or those values in a separate array or in a separate object. Simple as that. Just think that you're only getting this without brackets, or you're only getting this without brackets, and now you need to put it somewhere. So you'll put this in an object. You'll put this in an array, new array. Cleared, guys? Everyone, are we cleared? This was just a short introduction to spread operators. Because we are in React, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but again, at the same time, I don't want you guys to get confused. That's the reason I showed you this. Okay, but again, if you want to know more about it, in my JS course, it's completely explained there. So guys, all cleared, everyone? Hopefully we are all cleared, guys. Hopefully. Okay. So now let's use this concept in React. Okay. Let's use this concept in React now. So we know now that first of all, REST operator is it? Yeah, it is an important operator. It is basically used with functions, Akhilesh, REST operator. Okay. So now guys, see everyone. So now what we are doing is, see, animals is an array, correct? So when I do this, we know when we do this, guys, what we are doing? We are not copying the array. We are only copying the address of the array into one more variable. So animals variable and copy animals variable both have the exact same address in this case. Correct? Both have the exact same address. That is why we want to get an actual copy. That's why we create a new array. So I'm saying copy animals, you are a new array. Copy animals, you're a new array, but you're only using the values of the animals array. So I'm spreading the animals array here. Simple as that. Is that clear, guys? Okay. The reason I showed you the initial way was because it used to work, but I don't know what's happening right now, but it used to work. But again, I was just showing you what mistakes I used to do. That is not the best approach. Again, you should never copy your data like that unless you only want the address to be copied. If you want a proper copy, always go for this. I just wanted to show you that. That's all. Nothing big. Okay. But again, here we go. So now we are creating a new copy of the exact same array in copy animals. And now we are pushing the deer in that. And then we are saying, change the animals. Basically, I'm changing this variable's value. Okay. With this new copy animals, which is also having a deer. So let's check it now. So lion, cheetah, hyena. When I click, here we go, deer. When I click, so again deer, because we are pushing deer again and again. Okay. No, we are still using push. Sabine, see, Sabine, spread operators are mainly used to perform copy of an array. That's all, copy of an array or an object. But again, yeah, you can also add some new properties while doing it. Why not? For example, guys, if you don't want to push separately, yes, definitely you can just do it here, right? Why not, everyone? Guys, can't we just do it here? So definition is not for adding element. Definition is, Sabine, for spreading the values or for extracting the values out of an array. But again, see now what we're doing, guys. I'm saying copy animals, you are a new array. I'm creating a new array. But in that array, see, copy animals, you're a new blank array. In your array, the values are all the values which animal array is having. Only the values, not the address, nothing. Only the values. Lion, cheetah, hyena. Comma, the new element will be deer. So no need to use push. Yes, you don't have to use push now. Again, you can use push. It's completely up to you. So it's like this, right? Either you first create the array, then you push, or give the value while creating the array. It doesn't matter. Okay. So one more line saved. That's all. So it will still work. If you see, it will still work. Is that clear, guys? Everyone, are we all set with this idea? Guys, please tell me, are we all set with this idea? Hopefully. Okay. And now the best way. Now this is the best way. You can think of this as the best way. You can think of this as a really clear, good way. But again, you can do one more shortcut here. And the shortcut can be, remember guys, this function that you see here, This function is not only used for, like, it is not only for passing new values. You know, in the set function doesn't only take values directly. Set function can also pass one callback function in it. Set function can have a callback function in it. That means the set functions are used to change the value of state variable, one. Second, if you pass a callback function in them, or if you pass an anonymous function in them, what happens in that function is, in the parameter, you get the old value. So we can call it as previous or previous val or something, whatever you'd like to say. That means, let me show you with a simple way first. See. Let me show you the simple way first, guys. Please focus here, everyone. Please focus here. I'm getting a separate function. So function change name. Okay, I'm not doing it here anymore. I'm doing it here just to show you. Okay, just to show you guys. Okay, leave that there. It's okay. Now see, everyone. Right now, this is my state variable. Okay, and this is the function. Name is having Saurabh initially, correct? Nice. Now, if I do set name and pass a new string, Saurabh gets changed to Thor, correct? Nice. Now, as I said, either you pass a new value or you can pass an anonymous function here as well. In this anonymous function, you also get the access to the previous value. Again, guys, it's just a variable, call it whatever you want. So if I show you, if I console.log that value, you will see what happens. See, you get that old value, Saurabh, which was there. Is that clear, guys? So understood the idea? So the setter functions also have they can take a function as an argument. In that function, the parameter is nothing but whatever was the old value. Okay. And you can return some data from it. From that function, you can return some data, and whatever you're returning, that is considered as the new value. Is that clear, guys? That is considered as the new value. So just two steps. So set name, or in the setter function, you can directly pass a new value, or you can pass a function in which you get the access to the old value. Now, why do we need it? Sometimes you might want to do something with the old value. So how will you get that? So with using this function, you can get that old value, you can do some alterations, and whatever you return from that function, that is considered as the new value. So now in this case, I'm returning Thor. See what happens now. See, it got changed to Thor. Okay. And now what I can do is, I can do this as well. Val plus Thor. So guys, what will happen now? Return val. Val means the old value, which was Saurabh. And new value is what? Thor. So val plus Thor. So now here we go. See that? Saurabh Thor. The old value plus the new value. So if you ever want to do something with the old value and form a new value, you can go with this function. Is that clear, guys? And that's what we want to do with arrays, right? We just want to add a new element in the old array. So we can get the old array, add a new element, and put it back. Simple. Guys, is the idea clear? This is what complex state updating is. And sometimes people get confused in this. Okay. Is that clear, guys? Everyone? Are we understanding this whole idea? Please tell me. Same thing we can do with the array. See, set animals. Now we know in here, either I can pass a new value directly, a new array directly, or as I told you, you can get the previous value. Now guys, you tell me, what is the previous value of the state variable animals? It's an array, right? The previous value of the state variable animals, it is an array. That means in this previous, you actually have this whole array. Correct, everyone? That's the old value. So what I can do now is, I can say return. Now we know whatever you return, that becomes a new value. So return a new array, which is having the value of the previous. That means, see guys, this prev is nothing but what? The previous value of the state, which was this whole array. So dot prev, that means spread this whole array and add a new element in that here. That means I'm literally doing the exact same thing, but without performing that copy and all that stuff. Again, guys, just call it as previous array so that you don't get confused, because it's an array. Is that clear, guys? Is this cleared, everyone? Is this logic cleared? So set animals, passing that callback function, in that parameter you get the old value, which is nothing but the old array. Okay, then I'm returning a new array in which I'm spreading the old array. That means I'm getting all the values from this array, comma, the new element. So I'm forming a new array with all the old values plus a new value, and I'm returning that. So whatever you return, that becomes a new value. So now in this animals, you'll have a new array with 4 elements. Instead of adding value directly, if we create a new function, a setter function, no, it will not consume any resources. It's fine, because functions are just a way of dividing your code. It doesn't cost you a lot of memory. They are just a way of dividing your code. And once you become expert, you can either divide your code, or you can also think, like you can think, how do I need a separate function? In this case, I'm creating separate functions so that it's easier for you guys to understand. Generally, for this simple operation, I won't create a separate function. Is that clear? But normally, you should always go for using more functions if your code is getting bigger and complicated, because that will make your code look much more better. Okay? Is that clear, guys, everyone? Okay? That means now there are two uses of this setter function. One is directly setting a value. Second is you can get the old value and you can return something by doing some operation, a new value. Understood, guys? So you got now the two uses of the setter function, right, everyone? Are we all cleared? So this was the complicated way, like not the complicated way, updating the complex state, which is having an array or an object. Yeah, definitely, Sarma. I would like to show you that someday. Don't worry. So guys, now first of all, let's test it. So here we go, dear. All set. Is that clear, guys? So now you no longer have to do this. This is the best possible way of updating an array. Okay, always go with this approach, mostly. If it sometimes become complicated, you can divide this code into functions as well. Okay. So guys, I hope it's cleared. See, the main thing was, this is not tough. The only problem was, if you don't know spread operator, then it will become tough. A lot of time people say, oh, this is very tough to understand. No, this is not tough. What people don't know initially is spread operator. That's why this becomes tough. That is the only reason I taught you, or I just, revised spread operators first, so that this is easier for you to understand. Okay, guys, everyone. So from now on, that's how we can update our arrays and objects. So if our state ever contains arrays and objects, and if we ever want to add something in an array, or if we ever want to add something in the object, this is the best possible approach. Okay, guys, everyone, all cleared? Hopefully. Okay, now then, let's move on to the next topic, everyone. The next topic is form handling. First looks, it's tough. Then exactly, that's what happens. Whenever you work with libraries and frameworks, when you look at it, it sometimes looks tough. But when you go in the code and when you read it line by line, then it becomes very easy. Okay. So now, guys, are we ready for the next topic, everyone? Are we ready for the next topic, guys? Let's go for form handling. And I'm going to be showing you one of the easiest ways of form handling and getting data. So first I'll show you the tricky way and then the easier way, so that you understand both. And so that you understand how the second one is easy. That's why I'll show you the tricky way first, which actually a lot of people use. But I will also show you one of the coolest ways, easiest ways of doing it. Okay. So if I want to add a new animal in web page itself without doing it manually in code, web page itself, without doing it anything in code. Okay, in that case, you have to create a form field from where you can get the animal by the user, right? Right now I'm hard coding it, but then you can go ahead and take value from input, and that's what we're going to be learning right now. Right now we're learning form handling. In this I'll teach you how to get data from input field and how to use it, right? That's the main thing. Show form validation. I have not planned validation for today's session, but don't worry. Maybe I'll plan out one more extra session only for form validation and some extra hooks, maybe. Okay, but again, it's very easy. Don't worry, Ramesh. Don't worry, buddy. And also, guys, just a message. If you're new, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, guys. Okay, let's go, everyone. Let's go. And now let me remove. Okay, I'll just keep it here. Okay, I'll just keep it here. Or let's put it in a new component. I'm just thinking. I should actually put this all in a new component, right, everyone? So that it will be easier. So let me just quickly create a component and let me call it as comp state, something like that. Complex state, that's all. Okay, and I'll just take all this stuff and put it there. Okay, so that this will be there. So function watching it office sitting aside TLO. That's amazing, buddy. I hope your TL doesn't see you doing this. But again, you're not doing a bad thing, so it's okay, right? So guys, here we go, everyone. And I forgot the return statement, or a lot of bracket issues here now. Which bracket I'm missing? Oh, okay. This rounded bracket I'm missing here. Nice and simple. And that should still some problem. What is that? What is something I'm missing here? State variables function properly. That is the reason I don't copy a lot. Return, what is the issue here? Must have a one. Okay, I forgot the parent element. Okay. Let me create. Thank you so much, Positive, for becoming a member of this channel, buddy. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much, buddy. Thank you so much. Means a lot. Really means a lot. Okay, guys, all settled. Some mistakes, some bracket issues were there. All good. I just want to keep this code. That's why I created a separate component. Okay, leave it now. Export default comp state. Yeah, I forgot the parent div. So now, guys, if you want that, you can go ahead, and I also remove the return from here. So yeah, all set, all good now. Okay, and now if you ever want to see it, you can simply go ahead and go to comp state like this, right? And you will still see the same output. Oh, there's some issue. What's that? Okay, use state is not imported, guys. I forgot to import it. So import use state from React. Yeah, all set. Okay, all good. Now leave it. We can leave it now, right? Because now I have created a separate component, so I can remove it from here. And whenever you want, you can add it just to see that whole thing. Okay, now leave it separately. Now then, let's go, guys, and let's learn form handling. And we'll start it by learning simple input field reading. And then we'll go to some complicated form and we'll see how to read properly. Okay, so then let's go. So first of all, let's go ahead and let's get a very simple input field. Okay, input type will be text, and let's say placeholder will be enter name, something like that. Okay, guys, I want every one of you to focus now. So I have a very simple input field, and let's see if it is working. Here we go. We have a very simple input field here. And also, guys, just for some designing, for some styling, I would like to add a div here. Okay, and let's call it as something like, give it a class name of something like form or data form, something like that. Okay, comstate using same component, where? No, right? It's all good, hopefully. Okay, dot data form. Guys, I hope you understood when I copied that whole thing in a separate component, right, everyone? I hope you guys got it. Please confirm that once. There was no confusion in that, right? When I put it in a separate component, I just did that so that when I share this code with you, there will be a separate file in which all that complicated state logic will be there. You can watch it and understand. Okay, guys? Hopefully, it's all cleared. Okay. So just want to give it, a background color of light gray and padding of 20 pixel and width of fit content. Simple idea. Okay. So guys, simple form field here, all set, all good. Let's go. So now guys, remember, till now we were calling functions, correct? So we know that we can go and we used to call functions on click and all that stuff. Now, whenever you want to read an input field, the most used way in React is you call a on change event listener, on change. Okay, so on change, I want to call a function. So simple idea, right? Everyone, nothing tough, simple event handling. On change is an event handler that works whenever you write something or whenever you change something in the input field. So now from now on, whenever you change something in the input field, this function will be called. Okay, and in right now I'm simply doing console.log hello. Okay, so whenever I change something in the input field, this function will be called and will be simply printing hello. Okay, nice and simple. Let's go and see if it is working. So A, B, C, see the hello is getting printed as many times. But I don't want hello. I want this value which I'm writing. So now guys, for that, I hope you remember event object from JavaScript. I really hope that you remember that. Okay. So remember, whenever you call a function in an event, so whenever you're using an event handler and calling a function in an event, that function by default gets a parameter or an argument called as event, or you can call it whatever you want, E, F, whatever you want. We normally call it as E. You can also call it as event. It's a by default argument which is available in every function if that function is called via an event. Right now, I'm calling this function for the onChange event. So whenever, now again guys, I know that you know this, but I'm just repeating for anyone new. You should know that whenever you call a function on an event, or whenever a function is an event listener, it will by default always have this event object available, always. Normal functions don't have this. Remember, if a function is not getting called as an event listener, and if a function is getting called normally, it will never have this object. So please don't try to use this object in any function. Again, it is a very simple JS concept. So you should always learn JS before learning all this idea. Okay, very important. So in this function, the event object is available because you're calling it on an event, on change. So again, guys, you can call it event or E or whatever you want. I personally like to give it a full name so that I understand it. Now this event object gives you the information about the whole event going on. Okay. So now I'm just printing that event object. So now if you check it out, you will see when I type, I'm simply printing the event object. The event name is synthetic base event, and you get all the information in that object. But the only information that I'm interested in right now is the target property of that event object. So in the event object, you have a target property, and that target property gives you the access to the element. See, when I hover on that, you're getting the access to the input element. And inside that target, see, you have this value property as well. And inside that value, see, whatever you wrote, you're getting that. So in the event object, you have target property. In the target property, you have the value property, which is giving you the access to the things that you're writing inside that. And that's it. That's what we need, right, everyone? So event object is having a target property, and target property is having a value property. So I'm just simply saying, whenever a on-change event is performed on the input box, that means whenever someone types something, whatever event is happening from that, get the target. That means it will get the input element. And whatever you're writing in that value, whatever you're writing inside the input box, get that for me. So whenever I'm typing something, from that event, get the input element. From the input element, get the value and print it. Simple idea. Simple plain JavaScript. It is also not React. It is simple JavaScript. So now if I just go ahead and do A, C, B, C, whatever I'm writing, it is getting printed. Is that clear, guys? Everyone, all set, understood how we read the value of an input field? That's how easy it was. That is how easy it was to get the value of an input field. Now, we can use it value for different purposes. But guys, are we all cleared with this? Everyone, are we all cleared with this? Please tell me. All set, everyone? Please, can you confirm that once? Okay. Now, one more thing. In this case, I'm doing it using the anonymous logic, right? What if I want to create a separate function, not as an anonymous function. So let's say handle input. I call it as handle input. Okay. Okay. And now rather than doing this, I call the handle input like this. Okay. Add M-Pesa option. I'm from Kenya. Don't worry, Rex. I'll do that, buddy. I'll do that. I'll check it out and do that. So now, guys, see what I'm doing now. I am calling this handle input function on change. That's what we have seen. But now, what about the event object? Because we know that when I do it like this, there is no way of passing an argument. There is no way of passing an argument, right? So either I go for bind or I create an anonymous function. But don't worry, guys. If a function is acting as event listener, you don't have to pass any argument. Event object is always by default available. Always by default. Because it is not a parameter that you are creating and passing. It's internally there. See, normally if it was some other parameter like ABC, in that case, you would have passed a value for it. Either by using bind. So bind this, which is the default value first you have to pass. And then something like Saurabh, which will go in this ABC. But we don't want any normal parameter in this case. What we are planning to use is a parameter which is by default available in every function which is acting as event listener. And right now this handle input is connected to an event. So it is event listener, and in any event listener, event object is available. Is that clear, guys? Again, just clearing your mind. Sometimes people know React, but they are always confused in the small things. They keep working with React, but they are still confused in this. But they don't tell it. They just use React properly. So just wanted to clear it out. In any function which is the event listener, event object is available. You don't have to pass it. It's always there. Okay. Is that clear, guys? Everyone? So still you can do the same thing. Console.log event.target. And see, if you're coming from JavaScript background, this is nothing. This is something that you always know. So event.target.value. And now you'll see the exact same thing. ABC, whatever you write, you're getting it. Okay, guys, all set. Understood, hopefully. Guys, now I want to use this value. I want to store this value somewhere. So now what I can do is I can create a state variable now. So let name and then set name equals use state and initially blank value, or you can also pass null here. Initially whatever you want. Is that clear, guys? Or you can keep it empty, up to you. Whatever you want to do, you can do that. And now what you can do is whenever someone types in the name field, what I'm going to do is I am going to set the name with this new value. So event.target. So now I'm not console.logging it. I'm simply passing whatever I'm writing in the input field in the state variable. Is that clear, guys? So you will see if I go ahead and print it somewhere in this H1. Now, guys, I have a name input field, correct? Initially, there is no value for it, correct? Let's pass a blank string. Initially, let's pass a blank string. Okay, so that it gets printed. Otherwise, it will give an error because you cannot print null stuff. Okay, so name, which is an empty string initially, all good. So I'm printing an empty string initially. Now, whenever I type something in the input field, this function is called. Inside that function, I'm using the event object. I'm getting the input field and getting its value. And whatever value I'm getting, I'm setting it to the name. That means it is going in this name variable. And because it's a state variable and I'm setting it, the UI will update. And now you can see on the spot changes in the UI. Let's see. Now see, the name variable is here, don't worry. But let's go. SAURABH. See that, everyone? Is that cleared, guys? Everyone, please tell me, are we all cleared? Please, can you confirm that once? All set, everyone? Okay. Yes, Ramesh, I'll add value. Don't worry, buddy. But first of all, I also have to tell the significance of value, right? That's why I'm not adding it yet. I will add a value. Just waiting. I'm going to be explaining every simple detail. Don't worry. I'll first of all tell the significance. So, guys, the first idea is clear. Right now, we are writing the value and we are also getting it in a variable. So now we can use it for any stuff, anything that we want. Is that clear? When are we starting Express.js? Kashan, we are not learning Express in this course, buddy. This is only a React course. We learned Express in the previous course, which was the Node course. We learned it there, buddy. So you can watch that whole. I'll be coming definitely in future again with the new course of Express. But just before React, I completed a Node.js course. In there, I have taught Express properly. You can go ahead and watch that thing again. Okay. So guys, we got it now. We got it. We got the value of the input field. Okay, which is amazing. All set. Now guys, one more thing you should also do. You know what you can do. Now normally it's not needed if you're working with a normal form, but you should always go and pass a value to this your input field. Okay, a default value to your input field, which will be the exact same variable which you're setting. So in this case, name. So whatever variable I'm setting when I write something in this input field, pass that value as a default value as well. So that throughout re-renders, or sometimes when you want to control this form for validation and all that stuff, the value will still be same. So always pass this. It will not do anything. See, initially it's empty. When you type something, it's there. Okay. So you just pass it so that you get more control of your input field. Okay, when you want to perform validations or when you want to do some, when other state re-renders the UI, so that the value is always there. Is that cleared, guys? Otherwise, the input field might get cleared. Getting the point, everyone? Okay, guys, are we all cleared with this? Okay, let me show you what I'm trying to say here. Let's see if it works. Let's see. So let's have one more state variable somewhere. Okay, let's create two input fields, guys. Let's create two input fields in this case. Let's create two input fields. Just to show you what I'm trying to say here. Better done than said. I think that's the dialogue, right? I'm very bad at dialogues, but let me do it. Okay, so let's say this is something like, enter email or something like that, random stuff. Okay, and let's create a separate function for it. So let email. So one more input field, one more variable. So set email equals use state. And let's say initially this is also blank. Okay, all set, all good, all nice, amazing. And let's say this is let's call this as handle name because it is only working for name. So let's call it as handle name. Now same thing for email, function handle email. The event object will be also, I think, guys, see, main thing, you don't even need to pass this event object. Even if you don't pass it as parameter, you can still use it. Just wanted to show you so that you understand. I think even if you don't pass it, you can still use it. Hopefully, let's test it. So here I'm going to set email event dot target dot value, and now call this function on this input field. Let's see if it is working first, and we are not having any errors. Okay, are we having any errors? No, and it is still working. That means, see, you don't even have to pass the object; it will still work. Okay, but personally, I like to pass it so that there are no confusions. Event object is always available. Okay, now time to test it, guys. Time to test it. Time to test it. Let's also print the email in one more H1. Okay. Okay, it's working completely fine. Actually, yeah, by default, you don't need the value. It is just to stop or, if to just get more control. You actually don't need the value. Yes. Yeah, normally as of now, you don't need it. See, guys, there are two ways by which you can handle forms. There is one more way which I might show you when we actually work on a real-time project. Okay, so right now, as of now, you don't need to pass any value to this. We normally pass it to get more control for validation and all that stuff. As of now, you don't need to pass it. As of now, you don't need to pass it. So yeah, you can completely ignore it. Okay, but guys, now you see, everyone, that's how you can handle input fields. Is that concept clear, everyone? Is that concept clear? Please tell me. Is this concept clear to all of you? Please tell me, guys. Can you please confirm that once? Quickly. Everyone, are we cleared with this? Can you please confirm that once? Are you all cleared? Quickly, can you tell me that? Okay. Now, here it's fine. Now you can handle your form like this. You can have your data in multiple variables and all that stuff, you know. Now let's say, guys, now think. Let's say you have a form which is having 20 fields. So in that case, guys, are we gonna create 20 different variables? Are we gonna create 20 different functions? Exactly. If we want previous value, exactly, buddy, exactly. For that reason only we take it. But in this case, you can see the input box is not getting cleared. But you, okay, now it happened. Now it happened. Now it happened. Yeah, now it happened. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, we need it. Actually, we need it, guys. Now it happened. Okay. See, guys. Okay, now let me tell you. I thought it's not happening like that, but now let me tell you. See, everyone. See. Now, if you don't pass that value, what will happen? First of all, what you see in the input field is only the representation of the data. It's not the actual data. So if you want to reread the value, you won't be able to reread it. It's only there because you wrote something in it, but it's not connected to your state variable anymore. See, let me show you. See, actually, yes, I don't know why. Okay, let me show you how to get more control. Let me show you. Normally, you don't need it. Normally, you don't need it just for submitting the form. But now let me show you why you need that value. Okay, first of all, guys, again, let's stop for a second and let's understand that. See, now, what if, see, guys, everyone please focus. We know that whenever I'm writing something in the name variable, name input field, that name state variable changes, and that's how we are getting this value. Now, what if by some logic, let's have a button here. What if by some logic or from somewhere that name changes? What if by some logic that name changes? So I do it here, set name equals, let's say, Saurabh. So guys, see, when I type something in the input field, at that time also I change the name, correct? Correct. And when I click on this button, that time I also change the name. So now see what happens here. Focus. Now let's say while typing, I got the name sad, whatever it is, correct? Fine. So whatever is in the input field, it's also here in the state variable, correct? Now if I click on this button, the state variable will change to Saurabh, but our input field is still there because we only changed the state variable. That means right now we are doing just this. If the input field changes, we are changing the state variable. It's only one-way binding. It's only one-way binding. What if the state variable changes? And we also want to change the input field based on that because I want both to be connected. So right now it's only one-way binding. This is what we call as one-way binding. If the input field changes, you change the state variable. But what if that state variable gets changed by someone else, something else? Then your input field is not getting updated and you might end up with wrong values. That is the reason, just for security, or not security, just for this purpose, and just to get more control, you also give a default value to this input field, which is the state variable. That's it. So now what will happen is, if I type something in this, okay, all good. But if someone changes that state variable from somewhere else, still my input field also gets updated. So they are at the same page. It's called as two-way binding. Understood, guys? Normally, okay, start putting it everywhere. Normally, see, sometimes, people don't put it because sometimes nothing changes their state variable. Again, guys, it depends on your use case. I'm not saying always use it. That is the reason I was avoiding it. I was telling you that just to get more control, you use it. And that's what it is. Okay. So again, guys, it's up to you. If you are sure that your state variable will never be changed by anything else, you can simply go with this. If you think that sometimes no, it might happen. So yeah, definitely just pass a value of that variable. That's it. Value, that thing. And if it changes, the input field will also update. So now you got two-way binding. Is it clear, guys? Everyone, have you all cleared why do we need this value? Okay, I plan to explain you this in the project session, but I hope you got the idea. I hope it's not getting complicated, everyone. I hope it is not getting complicated. I was avoiding this just to avoid some complications so that, you don't get the confusion between this binding and all that stuff. But again, you got the idea. So one-way binding is when your input field changes, the state variable changes. All good, you have done that. But when your state variable changes from somewhere else, you also want your input field to get updated. That's two-way binding. Okay. Is that clear, guys? Everyone? Hopefully. Now let's talk about the real problem. And I can see a funny thing happening here. My subscriber is going 36, 35, 36, 35. Who I think is someone is playing. Subscribe, unsubscribe, subscribe, unsubscribe. But you can subscribe, don't worry. I won't let you down. You can subscribe. Okay, so now then, guys, let's move ahead. Now, here's the real problem. Right now, we are having multiple functions to handle multiple fields. So we have two fields, and for that, we have created two functions and two state variables. That means if I have 10 fields, there will be 10 state variables and 10 functions. Now think, guys, is it not too long of a code? Right? So what if I tell you that we can do it? Now again, guys, some people do this. Some people do it in this way only. Okay. But what if we go ahead and find out a solution where we can actually only have one state variable and one function, and that's it. We can handle 10 fields, 20 fields by just one function and one state variable. We don't need 10 state variables and 10 functions. Fields will be definitely there, but we can avoid writing those many functions and we can avoid creating those many state variables. Should we do that, guys? Should we do that way? Everyone? Let's go. So now, let me show you what I'm planning to do. Guys, again, please focus. A lot of JavaScript is here. I think someone else has also started playing here. Okay? But again, let's go. It's okay. You guys can play with that button. Okay? Okay, guys, let's go. So now, let's do it. So now what we're going to be doing is, instead of creating a state variable for every field, what I'll do is, I'll create a state variable. Let's say we call it as details, something like that. Okay. Hi, GGA. How are you, buddy? Okay. Details. And let's say we call it as set details. So now, instead of creating a separate state variable for every data, I'm creating a variable called as details, in which I'll pass a object. Now this variable will have an object. This state variable will have an object. And in that object, I will create a property for each and every field. So name, initially blank value, email, initially blank value, age, initially blank value. So I'm creating a single state variable, which is an object. It will have all the properties for all the fields. So there is only one state variable now. Okay, we are not creating multiple state variables for multiple fields. Only one state variables, but multiple properties for multiple fields. Okay, all set. Now, second thing is we won't create these many functions. We'll create only one function called as, please focus, guys, function. Let's call it as handle input. Okay, in which the event object will come. Only one function, handle input. Okay. And now, here, in both of them, I'll be only calling handle input. And guys, now we don't have this state variable, so let's remove all this value and all that stuff. Handle input. So both of them have handle input. Okay. Now, let me go ahead and print it. Console.log event.target .value. Okay, guys, please focus, everyone. Please focus. Okay. So now I only have one function handle input and I'm calling the same function on both of them. But there's an issue with this. Let's see the issue first. The issue is, okay, what is the issue? There's some issue actually that is not, email is not defined. Wait. Oh, I'm printing this name and email, right? Let me remove it. Okay. Okay, and also this, remove this button and we don't need it anymore. Okay, guys, all set now. Please focus. Okay. Now the issue is if I type something in name, I get the name. And if I type something in email, I get the email. And you might say, okay, it's all good, right? Why? Like, what's the issue in this? The issue is, in this function, at one time, you will only get one value, either name or email. Either name or email. That means, see, what I'm trying to say is, the same function you're calling on both the elements. So either you're writing name, in that case your value will be of name value, or writing email. Again you might say, what's the issue then? Let me show you. Now what if I try this? See guys, please focus now, okay? See this. So let's say I do this. Whenever I get the value, I will put it in name. Okay, so I'm gonna go do this. Set details. I'm changing the state variable, set details. Guys, again, same logic, everyone. Previous object. That is the reason we learned this thing. So we know that in this previous object, this whole object will be available. Correct, everyone? Okay. So I want to simply, just change the value of name. I simply want to change the value of name. That's all. I simply want to change the value of name. So what am I going to do in this case, guys? I'm simply going to say previous object. Okay, we want to change, or we can add actually. Why am I doing this? We can actually add. We don't want to change. We can actually add, Okay, let me do this. Let's add. Let's not do this. Blank object. Okay, blank object. Okay. So I want to return a new object with the values of old object, which is right now empty. It's okay. Okay. And the name property. So name and whatever I'm getting as value. So event dot target dot value. This is what we can do. Okay. So guys, initially your object is blank. Okay. So think of it like this. Initially details is a blank object. All good. Then you're saying set details previous object. This is your previous object, which is blank, which is completely blank. Okay. And then you're saying return this new object, which is having the properties of old object, which is right now nothing. So a new object will be formed. In that, I'm passing the value properties of old object, which is nothing. So nothing will be passed. And then you're passing a new property called as name. So name, and the value will be whatever typing. Right? So in this case, let's say it is Saurabh. So that's what will happen. Okay, guys, everyone, are you getting the point? So if I go ahead and print it for you, just to show you, console.log details. Guys, don't worry. Sometimes it gets complicated, but don't worry. Now we are moving on to some really good React. So these things may happen, but don't worry. I'll try to make you understand it in the best way possible. Now, first of all, let's see if it is working. So if I go and write name, see that, guys? Initially blank object, then name DD. Understood, everyone? Understood, guys? Please tell me, are we understanding this whole concept? So my details was initially a blank object. I said whenever someone writes something, or whenever handle input is called, call the set detail function. Okay, get the previous data. Previous data was nothing but a blank object. Okay, and then set a new data, which is nothing but whatever properties are there in the old object, which is nothing as of now, and then the new one. Okay, and every time you do this, it will get updated. See, for example, see, for the first time, D. Okay, and then let's say I type DS, something like that. So initially it was blank, then D was added. Then I type something else. So last time it was D, now DS. Last time it was DS, now DSV. Is that clear, guys? Getting the whole idea here? So this was previous for the first time, then this was previous. So every time it gets updated, you get previous. So again, let me tell you, just to again give you the complete idea. See, initially details was a blank object. Okay, all good. So let's say you called handle input and you wrote S. You wrote S as the value. So what will happen? Return a new object, okay, which is having the properties of old object, which was nothing. So still blank. But a new property called as name. So name, and you have written S. Okay, fine. Now you write A. When you write A, again handle input is called. Okay, so now again, previous object. Now previous object is this. So return a new object which is having the property of previous object. Okay, name. Okay, so name is still there. But again, guys, only one property is allowed, so name will be replaced. Okay, and that's how you're getting it. Okay. So that's how you're getting this whole output. Okay, guys, my bad. I didn't remove this code. Now, what we actually doing here? Now, the issue is, guys, because email is also calling the same function. If I do something in email, see, it is still name. It is still name. See that, everyone? It is still name. It is still name. Got the problem, everyone? So that was the main problem. So now we want to make this function understand that if we type something in the name field, the property name should be name. If we type something in the email field, the property name should be email, not name. So for that, what we'll do now is we'll give it these input fields a name. So name of name and name of email. So now I'm giving these two properties a name of name and name of email. I'm giving these two input fields a proper name property. Okay, so they both have names, name and email. Now the best part is C. Let me show you the event object again. Console.log event. See this now, guys. Please focus. Now it will be completely clear. Okay. See the event object. In the target property, you don't only have value now. Okay, you will also have name property somewhere if you search for it. That we have just given. Name, MN. See that, everyone? See that? That means now in the target, you don't only have the value, you also have the name. If I write something in the email field, at that time, see in the event object, in the target, the name will change now. Now the name will be, wait, where is it? Email. That means now, in this name property of the event object, in the target property, there is a name. And that name also changes based on whatever name you have given. So when I'm writing in this input field, at that time, the target.name is name. And when I'm writing in this input field, the target.name is email. And this is what I want to go as property here. So what I can do is, rather than passing name directly, I can do event dot target dot whatever name I'm passing. But remember, guys, you cannot, while creating an object, remember, again, basic JS concept, while creating an object, you cannot use a variable as the property name directly. Whatever you write is something which is fixed. So if I pass ABC as a property, this ABC is the property name. If I have a variable like let n equals hello, and I want this hello to be a property, can I pass n? No. This n will not be considered as a property. See, it is still telling me n is declared, but it's never used. That means this n is not this n. If you want this n, which is hello, to be used as property, you have to pass it in a arrow notation. See, now it is highlighted. So remember, guys, whenever you want to pass a variable as a property of an object, you always have to pass it in square brackets. That is the reason you have to pass this in square bracket, because it's a variable. It's a dynamic data. Because whatever you pass, it will become fixed by default. Okay. Just like I was passing name. When I was passing name, this name was getting considered as a property. Is that cleared, guys? Everyone, please tell me, are we cleared with this? Okay. So event dot target dot name. Are we cleared, guys? Everyone, please tell me. And now the whole process is complete. Now let me tell you what's happening. But guys, please don't forget that basic idea. Please. Again, let me show you what I was trying to tell you. See, let me show it to you. Even if you are like at all you're like confused. See, if I create a variable, let n equals hello. Okay, cool. I have a variable called as n. Now let's say I'm creating an object. Let obj equals, and I'm planning that I want this hello as a property. So I was thinking that if I pass the variable n, if I pass this variable n, this hello will be the property. I'm thinking that. So I do that. Fine. And now if I print the obj, see, no, n is still n. but I wanted this hello to be the property. So if you ever want to pass a variable, you never pass it like this. You pass it like this. And now if you check your object, see, now hello is your property. Because n was a variable which is holding hello. Understood what I was trying to say, guys? Now you got it? It is again not a React concept, guys. It is JS. It is JS. Okay, everyone, are we cleared with this, guys? Please tell me. All set, all cleared with this, everyone? That is the reason we are putting that in round, because while creating objects in JavaScript, whatever you pass, it directly becomes a property. So if you want to pass a variable, you have to pass it in square bracket so that object knows, oh, I have to dynamically take its value. So initially when I passed it like this, it didn't take hello, n became property. When I pass it like this, hello became property. Okay. Now the complete understanding will be here for you. Please focus now, guys. Please, please, please focus. Okay. Please focus. See, now let's try to understand the whole thing. Initially, your details is an empty object. Okay, done. Details is an empty object. Done. All good. All fine. All set. Nice. Now, you start writing something in this input field. So let's say I write S. As soon as you write S, what happens? This set details is called. You are getting the previous object, which is nothing but a blank object. Fine. Return a new object, which is having all the properties of the old object. There's nothing. So blank. Comma. Event.target.name, which is nothing but this. So name becomes property. And the value is event.target.value. Whatever I have written inside this input field, which is S. So name S. This is what happened. Now let's say I write A in the same input field. I type A. Again, guys, I type A. Okay. A. Fine. Again, it is called. So again, fine. Get the previous object, which is this one now. Name S. Okay. Return a new object with the old property. Name S. Fine. Name S. Comma. Again, new property. But the new property is still name. And one object cannot have two same properties. So the previous one will be removed. And only new name, comma, value is SA. So now we have SA. Right? Now let's see it for the email. Now I go to the next field. This one. Okay, all good. I start typing in it. So when I start typing, again set details is called. Again get the previous object. Okay, fine. We get this object. Return a new object with the properties of old object. Property was name SA. So that means in this place actually you'll have name SA and the new target.name. Because now you're writing in the email field, it will be email field. So email colon whatever written in the email field. Let's say AH. So AH. So return this new object with name SA, which was the older property, and email AH. And now your idea will be name SA and email AH. That means if it is the same property, it will be removed. The older one will be removed because you cannot have two same properties in the same object. But if it is the new one, previous one will be there and new will be added. So at the end, you will be having this. Is it clear, guys, everyone? Understood what's happening under the hood in this process, guys? Please tell me. Are you understanding this or not? Got it? So when I start typing in name, blank object, so blank object plus new property name, right? Then I go to email. Now last time name was already added in the state variable. So now I type email. So previous object, which is name plus email. Then again age. Then like this, I can add more and more and more and more and more. I'm confused when you console.log event. What's the confusion, Drex? Can you please tell me? And now guys, see here everyone. Okay. So name and email. Is it clear, guys? And just like you can have a number of properties. So this is the simplest and I think one of the simplest, coolest and simplest ways of handling form. And now you can have n number of fields for this. N number of fields. Is that clear, guys? And finally, when you submit, you can simply submit the state object there, this details object. Okay, so to perform submission, what you can do is you can create one more function handle submit. So let's actually do this, guys. Rather than console.logging it here, let's do it here. Console.log details. Okay, and now let's put this input fields in a form tag so that they are considered as a form now. So form, or you can also have a simple button, guys. Not important that it should be a form. Like if you don't want a form, completely fine. If you don't want a form, let's not have a form. Let's hit a simple button submit. On click, handle submit. Okay, simple idea. So now see, if I go ahead, Saurabh S. Gupta, submit, you get your data. Is it cleared, guys? Everyone? Are we cleared with this, guys? Please tell me now. Are we all set and have we understood this now, how we are handling forms? I know it was a little tricky. I know, but again, if you're a beginner in React and if you don't know a lot of concept of JavaScript, it might become tricky. But I hope now it's cleared, everyone. Please tell me. Again, I can explain it again if you want to understand. But I hope you have understood. I'm really hoping that. That is why I started from scratch. I first showed you how to read input fields and then I showed you this. How to give a name as button with button. How to give a name as button with button? I didn't understand the question. See, guys, again, let me, go with the whole process. Don't worry. I'm here for you. I know for beginners, it will become a little tricky. See, guys, please focus now. Okay, please focus. Utpal, please focus, buddy. See, guys, you have two input fields. On both of the input fields, you're calling the exact same function. Correct? Exact same function. Okay, nice. So initially, you have this details, correct? Object, a blank object. Initially, it's a blank object, correct? Guys, correct or not? Utpal, correct, buddy? Right? All good. Nice and simple and amazing. Okay, fine. Now, you start typing in this input field. So let's say you have typed S. Again, guys, listen to me carefully. You have typed S. Okay. So, actually, I think I should get React developer tools to show you this. It will be much more better. I think so. But again, let me explain it here first. Okay. So now what you do, as soon as you type S in the first input field, like when you do this, S, what happens? You call this function. You say set details, previous object. What is previous object? Blank object, right, guys? Blank object. So you get the blank object and you say, I want to create a new object in which first take the properties. I'm extracting the properties of the old object. Old was blank, so there are no properties. So nothing will be there in the new object, correct? Nothing will be there in the new object, correct? And then you're saying, whatever that element's target.name is, what is the target.name? Name. That should become the property. So, name. And whatever I have written inside that, whatever the target element's value is, so whatever I've written in this input field, that is S. So, S. And since I'm returning it, whatever the new object is generated, which is this one, it will go as the new value of details. Correct? So, as soon as you typed S, this is what happened. Understood, guys? Is the first line understood? Please tell me. Is this first process understood, guys? Can you please confirm that quickly? Is this first process understood? Please tell me that. Cool. Now let's say in the same input field, I am still there. And now I type A. So initially it was S. Now I typed A again. So now it is SA. So if I type A again handle submit is called. Sorry, not handle submit. Again, handle input. Again, handle input is called. Cool. Handle input is called again. And again I say set details. Get the previous object, which is nothing but this. Then return a new object. So new object, which is first having the properties of old object. Guys, what are the properties of old object? This one. Name S. Okay, nice. We have it. All good. Okay, perfect. Amazing. Nice. Comma. Create a new property by considering whatever is the target element's name. What is my target element? Input field. What is its name? Oh, it is name. That means now I'll have one more property with the name. But in JavaScript, you cannot have two properties with the same name. So now JavaScript will by default go ahead and remove this because you have two same property. It will remove it. And now whatever is the value, the current value is SA. So SA. Same thing will happen if I again type SAU. So now what will happen? Same thing. The old, because again the new property is called as name because you're typing in the same input field. So again the property name is name. And since again you're writing name, the old name will be removed and the new one will be there with SAU. And since I'm returning this new object, it will be settled in the details. So done. Let's say you have completed typing name. Done. All good. Amazing. Done. Now, let's say you go to the email field. And now you start typing something in the email field. And you're calling the same function. So again, same thing. Get the previous object. So you get the previous object first. So create a new object. Return a new object. Get the properties of the previous object. What were they? It was nothing but what, guys? Name. Here we go. We take it. Comma. Create a new property, which is nothing but target element's name. What is target element's name? Email. So new property is email. And now the name will not be removed because it's a new property. Colon, the value should be target element's value. That means whatever I've written. SG. And I'm returning this new object. So basically this will become the new value of details. So guys, understood what's going to happen? Everyone? Exactly like a filter. Guys, are we cleared now what's happening? So now if you have 10 fields for 10 fields, so when you type the same field, it keeps replacing. When you type a new field, a new thing is added. So any type you go in a field, a new property is added. And if you just edit that field, that property gets replaced again and again and again and again. How to give a name as submit with using button? Which property we have to use name? Okay, you want to give some other name. You can pass whatever you want in this. Rather than submit, you can pass register. That's it. Now it will be registered. See that? So guys, now I hope you're cleared, everyone. Hopefully. And now guys, when I click on the button, I'm simply sending that. Now you can do whatever you want. Send that details to anywhere. Up to you. Right? Now you have the details property. Send it anywhere, wherever you want. Up to you. Just do it. Now one last thing, guys. What about the value? Again, since it's a state variable, what if someone changes it? Because again, it is a one-way binding, right? Right, everyone? It is still one-way binding, correct, guys? It is still one-way binding. So what if someone changes the details from someone else? Again, no issues, guys. What you can do is, initially, pass some blank values like name, email, like this. So they will have the property already. So that you can perform binding like this. You can say your value will be details.name and your value. Initially there was single variable. Now it's an object. So please do this. Details.email. Okay. So guys, what you can do is, if you want to do two-way binding, only if you want to do two-way binding, so that if someone else changes the state, your input field's value should change. For that reason, you have to create these two properties, empty properties. Okay. So now whenever someone write something in the input field, these two properties value will change, correct? And whatever changes will be also applied in as the value. So input field will also change. Is that cleared, guys, everyone? So now you have also done two-way binding. Initially we did it with a single variable. Now we are doing it with a state variable, which is an object having properties. So guys, are we cleared with form handling, everyone? Are we cleared with form handling? Please tell me, guys. Are we cleared with form handling? And also, guys, if you're enjoying the whole session, if you're understanding everything, please don't forget to leave a like, everyone. Please like the video, and if you're new, please subscribe to the channel, guys. It will help me a lot. Cleared, everyone? All set? Cleared how to work with forms? Any doubts, any confusion that you have in your mind? So I don't think, guys, let's not do useref today. Let's complete it tomorrow only, because I don't want to burden you. And again, guys, form is something which is very tricky in React. A lot of time people, always fall in confusion when they're working with React forms. So please, 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 you need practice for this. If you just practice it once, trust me, it will be completely clear for your lifetime. So is it better to keep const set name, this email password, or passing like in a single? I think a single state is much more better, because your code will be a lot lesser and it's much more better for sending and receiving data as well. So according to me, this is better rather than creating 10, 20 state variables, Akhilesh. So guys, are you getting my point? You at least have to practice form once. See guys, again, today whatever we learned, I know as a beginner of React, it will be complicated. I completely know. Handling complex states, using spread operator, and doing all this stuff. These things will be cleared if you are already familiar with JavaScript. If you're already comfortable with JavaScript, then these things are very easy. But again, don't worry. With some practice, it will be done. But I hope I was able to clear every detailing in what's going on internally to you. Please confirm that at least once, guys. Okay, and also please like the video. And if you're new, guys, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And guys, useref will not be doing it today. Useref will be continuing tomorrow. I don't want to burden you with a lot of things. Okay, I'll be uploading this on the Git repository. I hope now you have got the link of Git repository. You can take it and you can use it. I still have not created the Discord link, but I have to do it today. I know. Don't worry. I was actually out with my family for the new year, so I didn't create it. So guys, yeah, one announcement is there for you all. One announcement is there. Announcement is from tomorrow, I'll be doing the night chill streams. Okay, later on, maybe around 10 o'clock, 10:30. So only if you can join, do join. We'll be playing quizzes and we'll be also doing live doubt solving. You can join the Discord and talk to me. So it will be a stream where you can come on, ask your doubts, and I'll be answering them. And we'll also play some quizzes there. Okay. So let's enjoy that as well, right? So in the early evening, we'll do the session. In late evening, if you get time, do join. We'll have some fun. We'll play some games. We'll just talk. You can ask any doubt you have now. Okay, so guys, any doubt that you have, you can ask me there. You can talk to me like a friend there. Feel blessed that I met you. Thank you so much, buddy. Thank you so much, Utpal. I don't have a WhatsApp group, Naveen, but I have a WhatsApp channel. So I'll give you guys the link. Don't worry. So guys, I hope you'll be joining it. I hope you'll be joining that. What do you say? Chill stream, right, everyone? Hopefully, you'll be joining the chill stream. I'm hoping. And guys, again, it will be a very friendly stream. There, it will be just for question and answer. Ask any doubt, I'll be answering it. Ask any question, we'll be solving it together. We'll solve question and answers there. That is the ultimate aim of that. Just feel like talking to a friend. I'll be solving all your doubts, all your questions. We'll play some quizzes. We'll play some fun games. We'll go ahead and, what do you say, react on some really good websites. Why not? We can discuss about designs. We can create some funny things. So some fun after the sessions. Yeah, it will be. I'll be uploading it on the channel. I'll be giving you the link tomorrow in the session. And guys, the WhatsApp channel link is in the chat now. See, I'm pinning it. That's the WhatsApp channel link. You can join it there. So from tomorrow, it will be there at 10:30 p.m. IST. 10 or 10:30, I'll be giving you the time tomorrow only. Don't worry. I'll schedule that stream right now after the session. Sir, meko Telugu. I'm really sorry, Gigi. I'm really sorry, buddy. I am not understanding what you're trying to say. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry, buddy. Are you asking me, do I know Telugu? Okay. No, no, no. Oh, no. I don't know Telugu. I'm really sorry. I don't know. Now check, Ame. Now check, buddy. Now check it once. It should be working. I have given it. I've given the link in the chat. I'll just pin that link. Just, yeah, I've pinned it now. Hopefully you can see it now, guys. Okay. So, yep, guys, that is all for today. Can you make timing early? I'll try that because see, normally we finish this session by 8. So yeah, definitely maybe around 9:30 then. 9:30. It will be a 1 hour stream, something like that. Just come, just prepare your questions, come here and ask your doubts. I'll solve it. That's all. Okay. It will be mostly at 9:30 then. Why not? We can do that. Or maybe we can in future we can schedule this stream early. Maybe we instead of starting at 6:30, we can start this at 5:30, and then that stream can be done at around 8:30. That's all something we can also try as well. Okay. Sir, your in channel your mobile not visible. Your mobile? Which mobile, buddy? Yep, Rohan, buddy. Yep, we'll be doing a lot of things there. Yep. So yep, guys, that's all for today. In chill stream, can we? Yeah, why not? That's what I'm planning. We'll be coming on Discord. So yeah, we can talk there. Why not? We can talk there. We can talk. We can talk. Yes, definitely we can talk there. So I'll definitely create the Discord link today. I'm very lazy, I know. In that case, I'll be definitely creating that today. Don't worry. And then you guys can come there and we can talk definitely. Okay. So yeah, guys, that's all for today. Thank you so much, everyone. Please share the channel with your colleagues and your friends, and I'll be seeing you tomorrow in the session. Okay. Mobile number. I think that's a little tough. That's a little tough. But sir, please tell for symbols validation in email section. Yes, yes, we'll also do validation. When we create the project, we'll do the validation. Don't worry, Komalpreet. When we create the project, we'll do the validation. Don't worry. Okay. So, yep, guys, thank you so much, everyone. Bye bye, guys. Good night. I'll see you all tomorrow. Do subscribe and please like the video as well. I'll see you all tomorrow. Yes, yes, I'll never forget. I'll not forget to do. Don't worry. I'll not forget. I'll definitely go ahead and create the Discord link. But, guys, please, 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 please practice forms at least once. I know it's tricky. That is why this is called as React Masterclass. We are also doing tricky things. Please practice forms once. Shabba khair, Bilal. Shabba khair, buddy. Have a good night. Have a good night. Bye bye, guys. Bye bye, everyone. Good night. And Drex, I hope your doubt is solved, buddy. Is your doubt solved, Drex? Just before leaving, I want to ask: is your doubt solved, Drex? Can you please tell me once? Is your doubt solved? Are you cleared now? Can you please confirm that once, Drex? Okay, I think Drex has left. Okay then. Okay then. Good night, guys. Bye bye, everyone. I think Drex has left, so we'll solve this doubt tomorrow. No issues. Okay, yes, I revise it. Okay, okay, definitely, buddy. Definitely, definitely. Just revise once and let me know. Yeah, definitely. Okay. Bye bye, guys. Good night, everyone. Good night.